Welcome, 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 everybody. This is Creators Creating, and I am Cory Three-Wing, and I'm here with my co-host, Aubrey Cardon, and we are here on our Wednesday tune-up call. Go ahead and say hello, Aubrey.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
Today, we are going to be talking about imagination and creativity and intuition. And we're going to have a little bit of fun today talking about that. And we are joined from people from all over America and Canada today. And I'm hoping that maybe a few more people might pop in. But let's get to the four agreements, the place where we always start, which is our self-governance of how we are together. And once again, I'm going to read these each twice, and here they are. Personal material shared in our circle is for our circle. Personal material shared in our circle is for our circle. We listen to each other with curiosity and compassion, withholding judgment. We listen to each other with curiosity and compassion, withholding judgment. We ask for what we need and we offer what we can. We ask for what we need and we offer what we can. And from time to time, we will pause to regather our thoughts and focus. From time to time, we will pause to regather our thoughts and focus. And so with that, our circle today is open. So welcome home, everybody. Thanks for bringing your best self here. Hey, all right, look who else is here. Excellent, excellent. What we're doing today, we're going to be talking about creativity and imagination and intuition. And I'm pretty excited about this. This is something that I think a lot about. And in my work as a healer and a coach and a spiritual guide, accessing our intuition, or finding a way to communicate with that higher part of ourselves, or maybe even higher into the field of knowledge or into the Akashic records, is a really sweet place to start, or maybe hang out, or remember that we've always been there. So as we begin, I want to open with a little poem that we found, a little art and beauty, like we always talk about, just to set the space from where we were and to set the space to where we are now. Mary Oliver, this is her poem called The Journey. But little by little, as you left their voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice which you slowly recognized as your own. Mary Oliver's The Journey. I'm going to pass the feather to Aubrey to start talking a little bit about creativity, imagination, and intuition before we jump into our playground today, because I think we're going to have some fun today. Aubrey, come on in here.
Yeah. Well, so today, our topic today is intuition, which obviously also involves creativity and imagination. And I love this topic because it really is it's the fastest way to kind of clear roadblocks from you being yourself, your authentic self, and also just experiencing the life that you love. So our intuition is it comes from our heart. We've talked a couple of times about how our heart is our gateway to creator source. It's the center of the infinity point. I'm gonna pull up an image really fast. So in our toroidal field, and this image actually has a toroidal field ending too close to your head. You have chakras above your head as well as below your feet. But our heart really is the very center of our toroidal field. I know it doesn't look like that when within this image, but it is, I promise. And this toroidal field it's an infinity symbol that is always moving and always changing, and at the very, 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 very center of infinity, so the most infinite points in all the universe, is access to all wisdom, all knowledge, our Akashic records, anything you could possibly ever want to know. So how do you get heart-centered? We're going to talk a little bit about that today, but the biggest roadblock to acting from your heart and being tuned into your own intuition is programming and beliefs that you either it's not real, or you don't deserve it, to be connected to yourself, or whatever it is, like things that keep you sort of like mind centric and kind of like with an external view, are all belief systems and programming that are distracting you from the truth, which is inside of each and every person, the sentient being's heart, not just people. Anything that's sentient has the same center of your heart, that it carries all of the codes for the entire universe. So practicing stretching our imagination like muscles, like that is what is going to give you greater access to your divine blueprint. So that includes things like daydreaming that Cory and I talk about a lot. And it also includes sitting in silence and listening, and just imagining what if scenarios, and spending time just like expanding your thought. That will actually start expanding your perspective and awareness of the things that you can't necessarily see when you're locked in your own reality. And we create our reality, we create our experience through our thoughts. And when we access ourselves with curiosity, that is when our perspective starts to expand. Before I pass it to Cory, I like one of the best things about living heart-centric and staying guided from your heart and tuning into the intuition that your heart provides is that your heart is inherently joyful and loving. And the more that you tune into it, and the more that you lean into that version of you and that part of you, the more that it becomes a gateway to your life becoming joyful and loving. And the you wear rose-colored glasses all the time, but they're actually rainbow glasses, because your life is just it's the lens through which you can view everything in a beautiful way. So that's why it's important to be heart-centered when you're getting into your intuition.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Aubrey. Welcome, everybody. I wanted to bring up the chakras a little bit, and I love that picture that Aubrey shared with us with the toroidal fields and the big figure infinity symbol.
I'm going to bring it back up while you're talking
No,
about it. Okay.
no, I don't think so. I think we're good. But the chakras, there's an awareness that happens, a practicality with our chakras. The crown chakra, all the way up to the top, to the third eye, to the throat, to the heart, solar plexus, sacral, root chakra. But I want to turn around and say, okay, let's, in a really simple explanation of the chakras, especially when we start to access, the higher fields of knowledge, intuition, the field of knowledge, the Akashic records, like we talked about last week. The root chakra is the I am. It's a basic survival. It is eat, sleep, have sex. It is basic. It is caveman energy. And then we rise up to the sacral chakra, which is I feel. Our emotions kick in here. Our emotions begin to guide us, if not control us. And that's all of our emotions, the low frequency, negative, perhaps darker emotions, all the way to the high frequency, brighter, joyful, gratitude emotions, these places, these energies. Then we move into the solar plexus, which is the I do. Now, this is where we take action. We go to work in the world. We're going to take our basic survival and our emotions and put it to work. And then once that is we're familiar with that, we rise into our heart chakra to go, oh, that's amazing. That's beautiful. And it becomes a heart lighted, inspired guidance system from our heart. And from our heart, when we start really embracing, moving, and being led and leading and guiding with our heart, we rise into our throat chakra. Again, there's that Lisa Nichols quote of, I climbed out of my story, I stand on top of my story, and now I take a stand, I speak to the world with these energies I've learned, I've graduated to here. Then we rise into our third eye chakra, which is when we start to stop looking out as powerfully as we start to look in. We start looking in more powerfully than looking out. Now, this is where today's lecture or learning about intuition, creativity, imagination starts. This is where this awareness happens. Then, of course, the crown chakra is the I understand chakra, where that's when we go through the wizard's gate, take 100% responsibility for our entire world and create like crazy. So there's a little basic understanding of these energies as we rise up in our chakras to work the tools of these phases. So then being heart-centered here, leading and guiding with your heart, makes me want to talk a little bit about wonder, and then wander, and then ponder. Wonder, wander, ponder. I love that when we start talking about intuition. Now, we're going to quote another one of my heroes, the work of William Whitecloud, another all-time hero, guide, mentor of mine. He talks about intuition as claiming your innocence. Innocence, and he spells it as in space, no space, sense. Make no sense. Give yourself permission to be absolutely illogical, to be playful, just like when we were children in the sandbox with the Barbies and the Matchbox cars, and we turn the hose on and everything is possible. So we are entering into the realm of innocence, or in no sense. But then wonder, let's wonder about something, inviting questions. I'm curious, curiosity, imagination. There's a desire to know more. And then there's something sparking that goes, oh, that caught my eye. It might be a solution to something needed, or a result, or a healing, or just a gate that opened. Then we wander around in this new possibility, this possible new solution, this new mentor, this new book or course or guided goodness. And then we wander. This engages our open-ended search with an open mind. It opens possibility. And it's influenced by your intuition and that moment of inspiration where we open to something more. And once we tap into the more, and then we ponder, like, whoa, reflection about the question. Wow, the search, the found insights leading to questions. Then we come back to wonder again. So we wonder, wander, ponder, wonder again, wander around in it, and then think about it, apply it. And I also love that this is our mind is wonder. Our body is the wander. We're going to walk around in it. And then ponder is our spirit applying it. So I think about this when we talk about intuition. We access our creativity or our sense of wonder, wander, ponder. Like, wow, look what's here now. I couldn't even see it yesterday. Or I have a curiosity, or I became uncomfortable enough to make a change. I'm now entertaining something new, or a healing, or a possibility. I love to think about the wonder, wander, ponder piece of this. It opens up that possibility, the realm of creation, the realm of childish innocence. So I want to stop right there before we jump into an exercise we're going to do today on intuition. We're going to play and practice intuition with each other today. But what I want to do is pass the feather around real quickly. What is sparking about your own intuition or your imagination or creation? Is it possible? Is it not possible? Is it easy? Is it difficult? What's happening in your world today as I'm inviting you to step into the realm of innocence, to make no sense, to be childish and playful with us today? Does that seem fun and easy? Is it scary to you? Because we're going to play a little bit in this realm today. What's sparking for you? And oh, by the way, my friend Golden Ray Unicorn, he's about you. I've forgotten your first name. Why don't you say hello real fast since you missed our introduction?
I know, Paul. Thank you so much. I'm Jamie James.
Amy, that's right. Thank you.
Yes, that's it.
Right? Yeah. Jamie's in Albuquerque, about an hour from me. And we
Oh, wow.
to go.
That's great.
Thanks for joining us today, Jamie.
Thank
James,
you for having me. I'm so excited. It's
you've
very
got
fun.
the feather.
I love your toroidal figure. Your toroidal field of your.
Yeah.
Did you create that?
That
yourself?
image I didn't create. I added
It's
the
gorgeous.
yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Jamie, tell us what's sparking for you about our conversation today about intuition, creativity, imagination.
What's sparking for me? Well, the toroidal field really did. That was phenomenal. I totally activated my heart. I love it. And well, and then seeing everyone on was amazing. And I for some reason thought it was going to be at 1 o'clock. My time is really interesting for me. But yeah, so it's sparking me intuition. I've been receiving things really oddly lately. Like I shut down a long time ago, but I've just been kind of opening up, and so I received things a lot differently than I used to, how I was trained or practiced back in the 90s and the beginning 2000s. So it's happening like all the time, and I know it happens like all the time, but then so if I'm aware of it, so I guess it's becoming more uh, like I feel like I'm in that flow all the time, but it's whether I'm aware. I know that makes sense. Whether I'm aware of it, and I guess I'm not aware of a lot of things.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? I don't know. So
Sure.
being more in my body and being more present, I think, is where I then can be in that flow, and then, um, and then really live in that alignment.
Right.
Um,
Good.
if I could just be aware all the time, breathing, I think helps. So
Good.
thank you.
Help.
That's
I think
I'm
that
complete.
I think that being present right now is sort of the name of the game. Like the more present you are, the more that like in your body and more intuitive you can be and more aware. So you sounds like you already got it.
Well, it's like being, I mean, whew, it's not easy. It's weird. You think, okay, I'm in this body. I should be here. But wow,
Mhm.
it's a lot to put me back in here now. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jamie, I'm going to ask you to pass the feather.
Oh,
Who do you
this way.
who do you
I
want
don't know.
to do next?
Oh, okay. Susie. Hi, Susie.
Thanks, Jamie. Nice to see you here. What's really sparking with me about intuition, we had it came up at dinner or yesterday at some point, and it has a lot to do with boundaries. Now, intuition is just part of being, right, in the now. But that also means that, I need to set boundaries in order to do that. So the way I described this to my family, and I think they got it, was imagine that if I wasn't able to explore this intuition side, if I wasn't able to explore what I'm doing, a part of me would die. And then uh, I wouldn't be, I would be unhappy. And then I would bring that unhappiness around all of you. So I'm just trying to get them to just understand, this new path and this new journey that I'm on, and that it all has to do with being who I need to be right now. And I think they're getting it. So that's what was sparking with me. So thank you very much.
Awesome. And Susie, pass the feather.
To Gina.
Oh, Susie. Well, yeah, I've been practicing with my intuition along with Susie, and a lot of times with Aubrey, and mostly with my pendulum that I've been working with for over 30 years. So I'm fairly confident with that. But um, we've been doing some clearing around the planet, and it's been very interesting to see where I'm guided and what's being shown.
Mhm.
And it's really fascinating.
I love the calling out the difference of where I'm being guided and what I'm being shown. I work with that too. I think about that a lot. That's a lovely clarification. Thank you, Gina. Yeah. Pass the feather, Gina.
All right, Steph.
Thanks, Gina. Um, so I've been fairly intuitive my whole life. Always been very empathic with others and things like that. And what I'm noticing recently, because of certain belief systems that creep up in the way, I tend to often, when I'm receiving telepathy, for instance, I'm always like, is this real? Is this really happening? Am I really hearing this? And you know, so I find that that creeps up, and then, but the more that I am in my heart space and centered and grounded, I don't question it like that. So it's for me, it's moving, you know, it's peeling back the ego layers in terms of intuition, and it coming through clearly and not questioning it.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, so good. Such good information. Yes, 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 yes. That's right where we're going today, Steph. Thanks for that.
Cool, cool.
Pass the feather. Somebody who has not shared yet.
Joshua.
Joshua.
Hey. Let's see. I've been experimenting with multiple data sets from multiple places. The internal, there's you know, interdimensional NHIs. There's feedback from my body. So been a little mired up for a while. And it's starting to become a little more clear, like the more points of data I can at least ping on, the more of a complete picture I have, I think, at least. Struggling to, you know, not struggling, but being aware of maintaining neutrality, I guess, you know, so I'm not leading myself just because it's something I want to hear, something I want to see, but trying to get all the facts, all the outcomes. If I do this, this could happen. If I do this, this could happen. If I do this, it's all probabilities. And just making sure that I salt and pepper those priority or those probabilities in the right way to receive the outcome I wish to see. Guess it's my project lately. So
Yeah, thanks,
that's
brother.
kind of it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Were you complete?
Am I complete?
Yep.
Somewhere.
And then I think Chris is the last one.
I struggle with this idea of intuition. And it's because I go back to the question, what the fuck would Jesus do? And that's been my definition of intuition. And so this is a detangling of that concept. So this is new ground. I'm curious.
Good. Well, thank you for that, brother. All right. So what I want to do today, we're going to play a game. And this is, I teach a workshop about intuition, engaging, practicing, turning it on, hanging around. And this is an exercise I call the symbol exercise. And I want a couple things about this I want you to know is that there's no wrong way to do this, is that you will succeed. There's no wrong way. And that and in this realm of innocence and play, like I really love that Chris just said, whoa, new ground for me. Awesome. And so what we're going to do is in this realm of accessing our imagination, creativity, the realm of the greater realm of anything that's possible, anything at all. What's going to happen is we're going to put you guys in some breakout rooms, 2 each, so that I went through and paired you up already, and you're going to jump into a room. And now what's going to happen is I really want you guys to not chat so much. There'll be time for chatting after, but I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes each. Then there'll be a break. Then I'll send a message saying, okay, now it's time to take turns. So basically what you'll do when you pop in is the first thing you're going to decide who's going to go first. You're going to read each other. And how this works is that you take a minute, you just look at each other, and whoever goes first, you think of a symbol, a picture, an idea, whatever it is. Like I said, there's no wrong way to do this. Even if nothing comes up, nothing is something. And you're going to keep it a secret. You don't tell what the symbol is, right? Like, for example, like if a candle popped into my head, for example, and I wouldn't say candle because you all have an idea about your definition of candle. But if I'm looking at you and candle pops into my head, I would say, hey, I'm imagining a light in a dark place that's kind of flickering in the wind, but it stays lit. And I would continue to talk. Now, the trick here is you just start talking. It doesn't matter what you say, but you don't sit, try your very best just to start describing the symbol. Even if it's nothing, there's this wide open space. You just start talking and just see and trust your innocence, trust, whatever you see, the energy, trust the engagement, trust what's happening, and then just talk. Describe the symbol. That's all you have to do. And then I'll send you a little message after 2 minutes and you change to the other person. Like I said, there's no wrong way to do this. Is everybody willing to play? Does this feel okay? Is this all right for everybody? Yeah? Awesome. Yeah, okay, cool. So once again, I'm gonna send you into a breakout room. You're gonna decide who goes first, who's gonna read first, and then the other one just sits quietly. Do your best to look into each other's eyes, be present in the present moment, be here now, open your hearts. Can we all make an agreement with each other that we're gonna show up as our best selves, that we're gonna be honest, that we're gonna be tender, and we're gonna tell the truth with each other? Any questions about what we're about to do? Yeah? Okay, great. All right, so stand by, everybody. I'm going to open the rooms, and once again, decide who goes first, find a symbol, describe it, and then take turns. Here we go, everybody. Go ahead and join. Yeah. Should be popping in. There we go. There we go. All right. All right, so for those of you on the replay recording, I'm going to time this right now, 2:37. Let me write that down real quick so I pay attention. Aubrey, let's talk a little bit about intuition.
Yeah.
Like, you and I have done this work together and separately and individually and with our clients. Talk a little bit about intuition and when we start to trust our imagination in this way that we're playing today. Talk about that a little bit while I set up our calendar here for a second.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I think back to when I very first started kind of like feeling into my intuition, and it really is, it's like this entire imaginary world opened up. But the more that I trusted it, the more that I realized that it wasn't imaginary. I started connecting with other people who had somehow the same imaginary world, and then more people who had the exact same imaginary world, and it really was just opening this kingdom of aliens and unicorns and magic that was truly real. And it's fun to me how trusting your intuition starts making the world like just this game. You get to go on quests, and you get to investigate things that you would never even in your wildest dreams imagine when you're kind of stuck in a three-dimensional reality. And it's taught me so much about myself, and it just makes everything more fun as it's supposed to be.
Well, and I love that reference about when we were children and we were outside to play. Because when we were kids, we didn't really have phones and video games as much as we do now. And so like that magic moment from after school to when you were called in for dinner, outside, we were in the yard, in the realm of imagination and creation.
Yeah.
And so I love that metaphor of let's go to the sandbox with the Barbies and the Matchbox cars and the building blocks and the dolls and the Star Wars characters and everything else. And then we're going to turn the hose on and we're going to be pirates in the future in space, an adventure like nothing else.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and like I love when you're a child and you're engaging in those games, you take on that character. You are that energy. You respond in that energy, and it's you're not putting on a play. You're doing it in a very natural way because you're more in tune with those energies. And it's such a lie that we can't do that as adults too, because we can.
Yeah. I'm going to send a quick message to our friends because it is 2 minutes. There we go. We've just asked them to change roles.
Mhm.
So one of the things I love so much about this symbol exercise, and this is something that I did not say to our strangers, and as I set up the rooms, I knew that like Gina and Susie, for example, have a lot of history together. So I made sure that they were not together.
Mhm.
I tried to put the people who I thought might know each other the least together, so that as they read each other, you know, the person being read will hear stuff brand new for the first time. The ones reading are not saying something they already knew, right? And every time that I've done this exercise, I've done this exercise hundreds of times with hundreds and hundreds of people, is that there is something magical happening as we speak. And as we come back into the room and we pass the feather around, let's be curious to see how the one being witnessed felt as they were being read.
Yeah.
You know, and this is such a magical moment of realizing that every single one of us comes with intuition absolutely installed. You know, when I first started becoming aware of intuition and things like creative visualization, for example, back in the 80s, the Shakti Gawain book came out, creative visualization, and it was a rage in the hippie community. My mom, right? And I was like, oh, I'm having such a hard time with creative visualization. I must suck at intuition. But then I learned that visualizing is not my dominant intuition skill.
I think a lot of people get hung up on that. They think that they're supposed to be seeing something, or they think it's supposed to be a certain way, and that's not at all how it works.
Right.
It comes to you in your highest skill set, which might not be visual.
Right. So like think about Beethoven and Mozart, dominant in hearing. Painters and sculptors, dominant in visualization. You know, you think about perfumeries, sommeliers, taste and smell are dominant. Light workers, energy workers, massage therapists, healers, dancers are kinesthetic in their body with their intuition. When with me, I had more of just a knowing, that sixth sense. Then when I tapped into that, then I could see, hear, smell, taste, feel.
Absolutely.
First, I was like, I must suck at intuition.
No.
I just had a more dominant version first. All right, I'm going to bring everybody back. Here they come, everybody. Here they come.
I think when they get back, we should talk a little bit about that knowing, because that really is it. I mean, that ultimately, no matter how you see and intuitively, because I'm a painter and a sculptor, but I see with my hands. I'm not visual. It's just I get my hands on it is when I can see it. And when I do my energy work, I sit like I see with my hands. And it ultimately comes back to just this place of knowing, and no matter what avenue you're taking, that's where it comes back to.
Right, exactly. And I purposely didn't say a bunch of these things before this exercise. So it'll be fun for those of you on the replay to see what's about to happen as they come back. So they should be popping in here any second. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
14 seconds, they should be popping in. They're busy wrapping up. But yeah, I loved this intuition, the awareness, the realization that we all come with it installed and that we're already doing it. It's a permission to go, oh, awesome.
Back.
Everybody's back. Oh, good. Welcome home, everybody. Aubrey and I just had a nice little conversation for those maybe watching the replay about what you guys were experiencing. And so we've got about 20 minutes left today. And so I want to make sure that we talk about a few things, we share some information, but what I want to do first is I want to pass the feather around, and we're going to work in, you were each in groups of 2. And so I'm going to call out what I want to do is whoever speaks first, I want you to speak about how it felt to be seen, right? Like you were witnessed, you were seen, you were being read, right? Right. And I want you to just talk about what it felt like to be seen. Would somebody like to go first? Yeah, Steph, pop in. Here.
Okay. So I'm so glad this is coming up.
And who were you with, by the way?
Chris.
You were with Chris. Great.
So, I talk about anxiety all the time here. And delving into that, I discovered that one of the many fears that I experience through the lens of anxiety is being seen. It brings about terror, and panic and physical, the physical. It's difficult to talk. The physical sensations I experience, the shaking, the sweating, and definitely the uncomfortability of being read energetically. It puts up this like total alarm, and so it's a neurological remembering of trauma that seems to come up. So
what happened?
Exactly what I just said. So in the meeting with Chris, it shuts my brain down. It becomes really, really difficult to think. Really, like we talked about with imagination, it just shuts it down, and it gets very frustrating. And the social anxiety, and then I feel it's so hard to talk and so hard to get that exchange going. And then the intuition isn't there because, I'm not grounded.
Right. So as Chris was speaking, what did you hear?
I heard all of his words, and I wasn't receiving my regular intuition. I just couldn't receive it. That's what I was noticing in the moment.
Right. So then just as a noticing, as you remember what he said if like from now into the future, like the next hour or the next day, I'm going to invite you to remember what he said and then harvest your emotions around it. Like, wow, he actually noticed something. And then how far does it go? Was it true? Was it not true? What part of it was fun? What part of it was challenging? I'm going to ask you to remember, because since you were in the moment of it, in your fear of it, you're right, it put up a wall. But you also have a memory, your mental mind, your intellectual mind has a memory of it, right? So now let's change it around to reading when you were reading Chris.
Oh, that's actually what I was referring to. When I was reading Chris, that I couldn't pick up the intuition of the image because of the blockages of the anxiety.
Okay.
And so,
okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, all right, well then, what was it like to be read by Chris? That's where I wanted you to start.
Let me think. That felt easier in a way, actually. Maybe because I was busy. I was so busy in my mind trying to think of how to describe the thing that maybe I forgot a little bit about,
right. Chris, unmic
what I was feeling.
Yeah. Chris, let's pass the feather to you, because we're talking about these last several minutes that you spent with Steph. What was it like for you?
Well, I kind of feel the same way. These things, they're awkward, right? Even on Zoom call. But immediately Steph made me feel very comfortable. And she made me feel important and seen. She said, oh, this is going to be fun. This is different. It's difficult. And I'm like you. And I automatically felt at ease and thought, okay, we're just going to have some fun with it. And I thought Steph, she described her item was very precise, and I knew exactly what she was thinking of as she described it. And
did you guys reveal your symbols to each other?
Yeah, were we supposed to?
Doesn't mean to.
Mine was a little bit more abstract than hers, maybe a little bit more out there. So,
Right. And so the difference between Chris being read, being seen versus seeing and doing the reading. Talk a little bit about that. Like we talk about being seen first. What was it like to be seen by her, by Steph?
it's always nice to be seen. You feel like you're important to somebody. Your ideas, your thoughts matter. What you're saying matters to somebody.
Exactly.
Right? And so also by saying that, you want to say things that sound good, important, that just, you know.
Right.
And then seeing Steph, I don't know, I've kind of taken on this role this year of trying to not help people, but support, because help implies I'm going to lift you up to my level, whereas support means I'm standing right there with you. And that's what I was trying to do, talking with or listening to Steph, was to just be in the moment with her and try to listen, try to focus on what she was saying.
Awesome.
I think that part's a little easier for me, but
yep. So
and I very much felt that, Chris, that you gave a beautiful energy and took the leadership role in a really graceful way. Thank you.
All right. In the essence of time, let's pass the feather to another pair. And like I said, what was it like to be seen first? And then what was it like to read second? Who would like to go next? Who wants to pop in? Should I call in somebody? Anybody want to volunteer?
I'll go ahead.
Jamie, get in here.
Okay, so yeah, so Susie and I volunteer Susie. I'll go ahead, but I'll tell her. So Susie, she was the one that received first, so was the one that I was reading. So I guess I can go with mine.
Yeah,
if you want me to. So it was amazing. We connected really very, very quickly. I think it's the plants that we both have that hers a little bit better than mine, but yes, I being seen from her was definitely, I think it's because I connected first, like I was the one that was reading first, so I kind of like she was receiving what my information was, and I was then receiving her, allowing me to do that, so being that mirror for her. And so that was kind of cool. So I thought that built the connection like from the beginning. So I'll have to say being read, but it's the same thing, like seeing and reading it's the same thing to me. By being the allowance to be seen, her, I'm that mirror for her, so we connected, and so it was automatically I felt like we were experiencing, I was feeling from her what I was saying, that described, I guess, what her situation was that she was doing, or her symbol. It was really nice because I hadn't done that in a long time. And then I think when we shifted to where I was being seen, I was really, really seen then. Like she was very encouraging, and it just the acknowledgement and the recognition of like what I was saying, like helped the strength of the connection, I think. So when she was then speaking to me, it was, if she got it right on. I mean, I was thinking my symbol, I don't know if we really said, but it was like the eye of providence. So it was like this eye that has sunshine coming, like signs coming out of it, and that's exactly what she had said. So it was kind of neat. And yeah, so we definitely connected, but it was really neat to feel the symbiotic in the beginning, I think. So that was kind of cool.
Susie.
There we go.
Yeah, but I just thought that Jamie was absolutely great, and it was so much fun. Like it was like a little party between the two of us. And I just have to say, Jamie, you are so intuitive. You knew everything about me. And he was like, "Oh yeah, my symbol was this, right?" And he's like, "You're swinging something, aren't you?" Or something to that effect. And I showed him, like, yes.
It's fun.
brilliant. It was so lovely interacting with you.
It was awesome. Thank
Fun.
you.
And I think we have very similar energies. And I think that's probably why we had so much
It
fun.
was a very good pair. Thank you. Yes. She's
And
much greater than she fits in that little body somehow.
Awesome. Awesome. Good, good, good. Let's pass the feather to Joshua and Gina. How was it for you guys?
I think we definitely missed the cue change. I'm not sure that we did it entirely correctly to begin with. So I was holding the vision of a shape, right? And then it was Gina that was supposed to be reading the shape, right?
Not
Is that
necessarily.
correct?
You know, it was like,
That's where we
okay,
stayed.
That's-
Yeah.
there's
that's
no
where we
wrong way
got.
to, yeah, there's no wrong way to do it. Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
I'm not sure what tripped us up. We had some progress, but nothing like.
So who was reading
Um,
who? Who was reading? Who was?
Gina was reading me,
Okay. And so what was
and
it like to be seen?
mm, mm, yeah, I don't know.
Mhm.
I wasn't like trying to like hide it mentally. It was like right in the forefront of my mind. Usually when I've done stuff like this, like write it down on a piece of paper. So it's like physical representation is
So
in hand.
were you trying to guess Joshua's symbol? Is that what was happening here?
Uh-huh.
I thought that's what, yeah.
Okay, that
She
was,
had asked that.
but that's
That
fun
was
to do.
not it.
That's more advanced playing.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
way more advanced playing, right? The
Oh, okay.
intention here was, as if
Gotcha.
you're reading someone else, think of a symbol and describe it to them.
Ah,
That was the,
gotcha.
yeah, that's, which is more of a,
Okay. I thought we skipped a couple steps or something like that. I didn't think we got it quite right. So maybe that's what it was.
no worries, no worries.
Yeah.
So in the essence of time, we're right at the end of our hour. And so what I want to do is talk a little bit about what just happened for everybody. And I think with Jamie and Susie, realizing that they both said, oh my God, you spoke the truth about me. You saw me. And so that's what, like, with the instruction of this exercise is to think, I see you, I think of a symbol, I'm not going to tell you what it is, and then I'm going to describe it to you. So the instruction
Right.
was to not tell the symbol, but describe it. And what's happening,
Okay.
and I saw the sparking with Jamie and Susie. Because what happens is when we touch the field of information, when we open our ability to just talk, is that we tap into what's true for us in the moment. And often when we're being read by somebody else, we go, oh, it's like I said in the example, if I thought of a candle, but I didn't tell you candle, because you would have your own definition of candle. But I'm going to start describing that image as it came to me. And then there's all of a sudden we start to do this intuitive read together. So this is intuition. Like, how do we start to play with intuition? Where do we begin in this realm of intuition? And as as Aubrey and I were talking while you were gone, a couple of things that came up for us that we wanted to share for you, for those of you who are here now, is that intuition, we all come with intuition installed. We all have it. And I started thinking I was not good at intuition because I thought I needed to visualize. But I was good at just knowing. But like Beethoven and Mozart, they're good at hearing, right? Artists, visual creators are good at seeing. Sommeliers and chefs are good at smell and taste. Body workers and maybe sculptors and different kinds of artists are good with body. Dancers, the kinesthetic body. And whereas mine was the sixth sense, where I can just know, and then I could apply it to my other senses. But I love that we all come as intuitive beings. It's already in us. And so my question for you as we move forward is, where is your most dominant intuitive artistry, the art of intuition? Where are you strong at already doing it? And then move it from your strongest sense, one of the 6 senses, and then move it into the other 5, right? Aubrey, have I missed anything?
I don't think so. I think I would like to kind of just reiterate what Cory was saying, that like intuition really comes as a knowing. No matter what avenue you come through with your intuition, what be it different senses or just different explorations and kind of how you happen upon it. Ultimately, we are all coded with the ability to just know things. And like there's a knowing and a truth that happens that you can feel it in your body when you actually hit on real truth. And so I encourage all of you to do exactly what Cory said and kind of explore where your intuition muscles are most dominant right now. But they do all end up in the same place, no matter if you're hearing, if you're smelling, if you're dancing. We all know how to know, and sometimes it's a matter of remembering.
Think about where you're attracted. Like sometimes at the grocery store, I went right over to the greens and vegetables because my body's like, I need that now. Or maybe there's an event or a person that you're attracted to because there's a divine learning to be had with that person. There's also that, ooh, my intuition, my gut feeling said, oh, I'm not going down that dark alley. Or something said protection, I'm going to do something else. These are all the same things. We all have it already. And so, and I love that Steph was so honest about saying, well, I got scared and it shut down in me. But where is it in you already? Like part of that, your intuition, Steph, was like, okay, I'm scared right now. I'm going to protect myself. There's maybe a part of you that wasn't safe enough to move forward. And so there's a protection that kicked in. I'm not sure if that resonates with you right now.
Totally.
Yeah. So your intuition was in the room. Everybody's intuition was in the room. Like I said, there's no wrong way to do this. We might have been a little clumsy because it was our first time, but I'm all for clumsy. I'm all for messy. There's discovery in clumsy. There's discovery in messy. All right, everybody. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming out to play today with creativity and imagination and intuition. I encourage you to go out into your day to wonder and then to wander and then to ponder. As we close our circle today, last thoughts. What was your power word today? What did you learn today? What are you going to take away today? And I'm just going to go around, call you out in the circle as I see you in my room. Yeah, what sparked for you today? In the essence of time, let's keep it short. But Joshua, what was sparking? What was your aha today?
That's good.
I'm not sure I really got one. I'm kind of like feeling really fuzzy today.
All good.
Yeah, but each time you say, wonder, wander, ponder, I think pander. I don't think that's the right way that that's supposed to go. So it's been hitting me every time. Yeah, I'm not sure where that is today for me.
All good. Thanks, brother.
Yep.
Pass the feather, Joshua. I'll let you pass the feather. Chris.
Thank you. I think for me, just learning about intuition and what Aubrey said at the end, that we all have an intuitive ability. It's just a matter of remembering what it was, what it is. So that's kind of my takeaway from this.
Awesome.
I got to figure it out.
Pass the feather, man.
Let's go to Gina.
I've been trying to think of something that sparked. I don't know.
Then what do you know?
Everything and nothing.
Ah, good answer. Said the wise one.
What can I say? Yeah, I mean, I try to stay in use my intuition as often as possible, but with the pendulum. And yeah, it's all great. It's just fun. Life is fun right now. That's where I try to keep it.
That is good medicine for sure. All right, pass the feather, Gina.
Jamie, since you're doing that.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so awesome. Yeah, trust. That's me today. Trust, since I got it on and signing off. It's trust all day long today while here. So I trust myself. It's the only thing I can rely on now. So thank you, everyone.
To rely on, brother. Right on. Pass that feather.
Go ahead, Steph.
Thanks, Jamie. It's like everything all at once right now. But maybe the main thing for me today is learning how important it is to continue to move through fear.
Aho. Right on, Steph. Thank you for that. I think is Susie left?
Yeah, for me, we are very, very powerful. And I think we're more powerful than we realize. And I think now, we just have to believe that in ourselves and move forward from here.
Yeah, here. Then Aubrey.
Oh, I was busy listening. You're calling on me. I think what sparked for me today is how easy it is to get in our own way of our own clarity. It's really easy to kind of look externally and feel like there are things in the way, and because we create our reality, there are therefore things in the way, and it's true. But there is simplicity to knowledge and to intuition and to just being and stillness. And I'm just really grateful that everyone here was willing to share their journey, especially really honest journeys. Like, thank you. Because it's a process to learn, to relearn how to do the things that we're kind of we come into the world knowing, and we learn how not to do it, and then we have to relearn how to do it again. So thank you.
I guess my little last checkout for myself, what was sparking for me today is one, we've got a new member with us today, but the rest of us have been around a couple of weeks together, if not longer. We're getting familiar, we're getting safe. The power of our tribe to have meaningful engagement, which is a freedom to say, all right, let's be brave and try something we've never tried before. And as we move forward in this group, we're going to start creating in a bigger way. We're going to start practicing dreaming in a bigger way. We're going to start working these tools of manifestation in a bigger way, especially now that we have a little bit of a foundation and a history, a rapport and a safety together. And I'm really looking forward to this dance that we are dancing together. And so I invite you, as we move forward through the week, is to play with the symbol exercise with your loved ones or your loved things. Like, go out on a nature walk or in a meditation and see something that has your attention. Think of a symbol that it represents and then describe it, write about it. Practice tapping into the field of knowledge, because it's there for us. And we are tapped into it already. So where are you already strongly doing this act? Are you seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling, knowing? And then whichever one you're doing more strongly, have it communicate to the other 5 and write about it. What do you know? And in that knowing, what other knowing became known? It's a practice with your creativity, your imagination, the space in between. Sometimes we hear the musicians talking about music, and the most powerful place is the space between the notes. Or poetry and plays, the spoken word, the most powerful place is the space in between the words. You know, so I encourage you to play in this realm this week. And with that, everybody, we're a few minutes over, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up our circle today. Creators Creating on Wednesdays, your weekly tune-up. Thanks for being here.